And welcome to Sounds of Brass, your brass band world news, your weekly roundup of brass band stories, entertainment headlines, concert news, contest results, and everything happening across the brass band world. I'm Peter, and over the next 20 minutes, we'll be bringing you the latest from the contest stage, upcoming concerts, and entertainment headlines from around the world, and a look ahead at what's on in the brass band calendar. Begin in Birmingham, where Milner Band has secured a return to the British Open after winning the 2026 Grand Shield competition. The victory marks a major achievement for the North West Band after a powerful performance of Star-Crossed Lovers by Stephen Roberts at Birmingham's Town Hall. The result means Milner returned to the British Open Championships for the first time in several years, with celebrations continuing across the brass banding community. One of these standout performances came from the Kirkintilloch Band, who claimed victory in the Senior Cup competition under conductor Martin Ramsey. Their success secures promotion to next year's Grand Shield contest, a major achievement and another important milestone for Scottish brass banding. Also celebrating promotion was Unite Scotland Keneal Band, whose strong showing in the Senior Trophy earned them a place in next year's Senior Cup competition. The Spring Festival continues to prove why it remains one of the defining weekends in the brass band year, bringing together elite ensembles from across the UK for what many musicians call the ultimate test of consistency, stamina and musical preparation. Whit Friday Fever returns. Known as one of the biggest cultural events in the brass band world, Whit Friday preparations are reaching fever pitch for the Saddleworth and Oldham Whit Friday Band Contest. Taking place on Friday the 29th of May, often described as the greatest free show on earth, Whit Friday transforms villages across Greater Manchester into a vast celebration of brass music. More than 100 bands are expected to perform across multiple villages in a single evening, racing from contest to contest as adjudicators score march performances outside churches, pubs and community halls. The tradition dates back to the 19th century and remains one of the more unique musical spectacles anywhere in the world. Crowds line the streets deep into the night while bands compete not only for trophies but also for pride, prestige and local bragging rights. Among the bands preparing for Whit Friday is Black Dyke Band, whose busy summer schedule includes appearances at Saddleworth, Huddersfield and the BBC Proms later this year. A lot of people only come for the contest in the evening, but the morning processions are one of the most unique parts of the whole day. Churches from Diggle, Dobcross, Uppermill, Greenfield and Friesland walk under banners to Uppermill Field, usually with a brass band or two leading or following. Some of these walks are over 2 miles, and the bands play plenty, much non-stop, traditional marches like Sladeburn. True and Trusty and Death of Glory back-to-back. At points, different processions cross over, so you get multiple bands playing different marches at the same time. It's loud, it's a bit chaotic, and very Whit Friday. The village Delph does its own thing as well. Delph Band and Delph Youth Band lead a march around the village and hold a service on the High Street, which is well worth catching if you're nearby. Now, if you're planning to go in the morning, roads start closing from around 8 AM until early afternoon. So if you're driving, you need to arrive early and be prepared to stay for a few hours. Best options for parking are Saddleworth School in Diggle, Saddleworth Sports Centre in Uppermill. Tesco's in Greenfield only allow 2 hours, no return. Keep an eye on your time. On-street parking on main routes and surrounding roads is basically a no-go. No parking areas will be clearly signposted. If you're planning to come to the event via public transport, then train Greenfield is the only station in Saddleworth, but it's a useful one. From there, you can walk to Greenfield, Upper Mill about 10-15 minutes, and Friesland 10 minutes. Trains run between Manchester and Huddersfield fairly regularly, with the final trains of the evening leaving at 23:55 towards Manchester and 23:51 towards Huddersfield, meaning you can catch all the bands of the day before heading home. If you're coming by a bus, some services still run, including the 180, the 84 and 350, but they're limited and can get delayed with road closures. If you're relying on a bus, build in extra time to your travel and have a backup plan. You can plan your bus journey via the TFGM website. So, information on picking your village. The biggest mistake people make is trying to do everything. You won't pick a couple of places or just one based on what you actually want to do for that day. So the villages are Delft, Denshaw, Diggle, Dobcross, Friesland, Greenfield, Groton, Leeds and Spring Head, Lidgate, Scout Head and Osterlands, and Upper Mill. You've probably seen the videos packed with streets, Diggle Sound, people lining the pavements. Well, that's Delft. Band starts at the Millgate Art Centre, then march then to play on Garside Street. It's one of the smaller villages physically, but it punches well above the weight for atmosphere, especially later on. Food vans set up in the main car park, and you've got easy access to pubs like the Swan, the White Lion and the Bull's Head, plus Delft Band Club just off the high street. This is Whit Friday feeling. This is where you go. It gets busy, it gets very loud, and by the evening it's probably lively as well. For more information, go to www.facebook.com and look up Whit Friday. If you fancy staying over, if you're making a weekend of it, well, there are a few options for accommodation, and they are the Old Bell Inn in Delft, Saddleworth Hotel in Delft, the White Hart in Lidgate, and Welly Hall campsite in Greenfield, Friesland. These book up early, so it's worth planning now. And for some final tips, get there early than you think you need to. Don't rely on driving between villages, because once things get going, it's coach access only. Pick one or two locations and enjoy them properly. Bring layers. It nearly always gets cold later on at night. Expect queues for food and at peak times. Whit Friday isn't just about hearing great bands, though. You will. It's about the mix of villages, people, tradition and chaos that make it all worthwhile. So wherever you end up, you'll hear something worth stopping for. Whit Friday dates have now been released. Obviously, the 2026 is on the 29th of May. 2027 has now been published to be going out on the 21st of May. And in 2028, it will be on the 9th of June. Youth brass banding continues to show remarkable strength in 2026. The recent Youth Championship organised by Brass Bands England once again showcased the incredible standard of young musicians across the country. Organisers praised the event for bringing together talented young performers from every region in the celebration of musical excellence and community spirit. Meanwhile, preparations are already underway for the 2027 championships after positive feedback from audiences, conductors and participating bands. And there's more good news for young players. The National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain has announced its summer concert in Bath this August, featuring guest conductor Lieutenant Colonel Lauren Petlitz-Watts and internationally acclaimed tuba soloist Ros Knight. Youth development remains one of the essential themes across the banding movement, with organisations increasingly investing in education programmes, beginner ensembles and school partnerships. Now to entertainment news from the wider music world. The 2026 Royal Northern College of Music International Brass Band Festival in Manchester has once again cemented its reputation as one of the premier brass events anywhere in Europe. The festival celebrated the music of composer Philip Sparke on the occasion of his 75th birthday, with performances by leading ensembles and bands including Black Dyke Band, Fordham's Band, Corey Band and the Tredegar Town Band. Festival organisers highlighted new commissions and world premieres as a major feature of the 2026 programme, underlining the growing appetite for contemporary brass music and innovative repertoire. And in one of the most unusual stories this week, cricket broadcaster Jonathan Agnew has revealed that taking up the euphonium again has become one of the most rewarding experiences of his life. Agnew now performs with his local band and says brass banding provides camaraderie, discipline and a welcome escape from the cricket world. Tickets for the 172nd British Open Championships will be held at Symphony Hall, Birmingham on Saturday the 12th of September, will go on sale to the general public from 10 a.m. on the 29th of May. It has become customary tickets will be made available for B Music Loyalty Scheme members on Thursday the 28th of May at 10 a.m. They will be notified accordingly. All tickets are booked directly through B Music. Ticket prices will range from £27.50 to £58.50. 19 bands headed by defending champions Briggers and Rastrick, but also including Brass Band Vilbrook from Belgium and Sydney City Brass from Australia, will look to lift the iconic British Open Gold Shield with a performance of Philip Sparks' Music of the Spheres test piece. For further information and tickets, then visit bmusic.co.uk/events/172ND-British-Open-Brass-Band-Championship. One of the strongest themes in brass banding this year continues to be community celebration. Renfrew Burr Band is marking its remarkable 115th anniversary with a special summer concert featuring guest soloists from Fordham's Band. The event promises music from film, pop, rock and traditional brass repertoire in what organisers describe as a concert for the whole family. Meanwhile, local associations across England and Scotland continue reporting strong audience numbers for concerts, entertainment contests and community festivals. Events celebrating local heritage and outdoor summer performances appear to be especially popular in 2026. And it's now time for your What's On the Brass Band Guide. Here's your Brass Band Events Guide for the upcoming weeks. Whit Friday contest on Friday the 29th of May across Saddleworth and Oldham. Expect hundreds of performances and thousands of spectators. Black Dyke Festival taking place at Huddersfield Town Hall on the 31st of May, featuring the Black Dyke Band and guest performers. Elgar International Festival of Brass coming to the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire on the 7th of June. Renfrew Burr, the 115th anniversary concert, being held Saturday the 27th of June at the Renfrew Town Hall with special guests from Fordham's Band. And the BBC Brass Proms appearance. Black Dyke Band will appear at the BBC Proms in July at the Royal Albert Hall. And the National Brass Band Championships. The Championship Section National Final returns later this year to the Royal Albert Hall. The NEMBBA Entertainment Contest. Entries are now open for the 2026 Entertainment Contest, featuring 20-minute own choice programmes, Scottish Brass Band events, The Scottish Brass Band Association calendar includes anniversary concerts, spring events and regional gatherings throughout the summer season. Across the brass band movement, there are growing signs of optimism. Contest entries remain strong in many regions, youth participation continues to rise, and audiences appear increasingly interested in crossover concerts, mixing traditional brass repertoire with film, music, rock classics, and contemporary arrangements. Bands are also embracing live streaming now and digital promotion more than ever before, helping audiences around the world engage with events that were once accessible only to those attending in person. At the same time, challenges remain. Recruitment in some areas continue to be difficult, especially for lower section and rural bands. Rising transport costs and venue expenses are also creating pressure for many organisations. But perhaps the biggest story of all is resilience. From championship giants to village community bands, the brass band movement continues to evolve while preserving tradition that stretched back well over a century. And just as a closing entertainment roundup, and before I go today, tickets continue to sell strongly for summer festivals and brass concerts around the world. Entertainment contest programming is becoming more theatrical and audience-focused than ever before. And excitement is, well, it's building ahead of another packed summer season of concerts and contests, park jobs, prom concerts and gala performances. And that's all from a Brass Band World today here on Sounds of Brass News. You can keep up with the latest contests, concerts and brass band developments through organisations including Brass Band England, the British Open Championships and brass band results. I'm Peter, wishing you a very good day, and wherever you are this weekend, if you're at the Whit Friday next weekend, then have a good day, enjoying the music, and let's keep brass banding alive. I'm Peter Webster, and that was your Brass Band World News, Brass Band Entertainment News, and Brass Band's General News.